calling is the most comprehensive reorientation and the most profound motivation in human experience. Os Guinness. The truth is, I was jealous. I was watching a nature show about lions in Africa. It was an amazing production following a lion's life from birth through adulthood. I watched the lion as a cub, rolling in the grass, wrestling with his siblings, pouncing on his father, being groomed by his mother. As the cub got older, I watched him on his initial hunts, finding some success but mostly failure. In later life, he found a mate and had his own cubs. His days consisted of guiltlessly resting in the shade in the heat of the day, confidently hunting for food, and valiantly defending his family from predators. Something about the simple clarity of his life and his sense of being, untouched by the nagging questions of, who am I, and what should I be doing with my life, stirred something along the lines of jealousy in me. It wasn't necessarily a simple life I wanted, but rather his simple clarity. He was just being what he was, a lion. Can you relate to my jealousy? You know you're created to be something, to do something, to contribute something, but it's so hard to figure out what that something is. In C.S. Lewis's The Chronicles of Narnia, we read of a great prince imprisoned by a witch's sorcery. Under her spell, Prince Rilian would lose all recollection of who he was and where he came from. While I was enchanted, I could not remember my true self. During his brief moments of clarity, though the witch told him that those moments were actually times of insanity, the prince would be involuntarily bound to a chair until he would come back into his right mind, which he later described as a heavy, tangled, cold, clammy web of magic. I believe this is how life feels for most of us. We're lost in a fog of confusion and dullness with only brief moments of clarity and desire that seem so hard to hold on to. And when we are able to capture those moments that have a ring of authenticity about them, we quickly start to doubt their legitimacy. Could we be under some web of evil magic, some spell? We live in a time that is brutal on a person's search for purpose or place in the world. The world of science tells us, with a voice of reason and certainty, that whatever we feel, be it pleasure, despair, anger, lightness, heaviness, or even a sense of meaning, these emotions are just a series of chemical reactions in our brain to some outside stimuli. Beauty, purpose, meaning, romance, pleasure, and even God are nothing more than byproducts of chemical reactions. Science tells us that there is no meaning or transcendent purpose in life, only the random reaction of one thing to another. As philosopher and Nobel Prize winner Henry Bergson believed, since the Renaissance, modern science has gradually extended its casual explanation to one phenomena after another, psychological and biological as well as the purely physical, accounting even for life and consciousness in purely physical or chemical terms. Creative novelty, human purpose, and freedom have often been disregarded. Then we have society, largely encountered through laws and media, which tells us that any sense of purpose or meaning outside the realm of economic or scientific advancement is unhelpful and dangerous. Laws portray society's desire to separate faith from any type of cultural influence. And most movies, TV shows, and news reports show religious conviction as ignorant and the source of hatred, suffering, and war, or at best, ineffective for positively changing the world. And what about the church? In the past, the church held an elitist view of people and their callings, where only a few were chosen to do something sacred. These select few could easily be recognized by their religious title, position, or clothing. If you did not have the desire or opportunity to do something within the church, your life's work was not of eternal consequence. Your expected position in life was simply to subject yourself to the church's teaching and direction, with your highest goal being to live a moral life and to support the church's vision and institutions. But I want to state clearly, there is no elite group in the body of Christ.